Officer Harris's slap on young Judge Maya Reynolds, mistaken for a nobody, backfires when her true power is revealed. Her quiet dignity sparks instant karma, transforming justice. Follow the story with me now. You won't believe what happens. A sharp slap cut through the courtroom's stillness, reverberating like a thunderclap. Young Judge Maya Reynolds gently touched her burning cheek, her gaze fixed on Officer Harris's smug grin. Her judicial robe concealed trembling hands, but her eyes blazed with a quiet, unyielding resolve. The room stirred with unease. Officers snickered softly, mocking her youthful appearance and soft demeanor, blind to the judicial emblem subtly gleaming under her sleeve. This wasn't Maya's first brush with disdain. She recalled every condescending glance, every dismissive murmur from seasoned colleagues who saw only her youth, her gentle tone, her delicate features. Judged relentlessly, she bore the silent weight of their scorn without bitterness. But Harris's slap rekindled every slap she'd endured, yet she stood poised, exuding grace amid humiliation. Laughter rippled around her, whispers grew louder, a stark reminder of the daily injustices she quietly shouldered. Maya drew a steady breath. This battle was familiar, but today carried a different weight. Rising with calm purpose, Maya faced Officer Harris. "I am Judge Maya Reynolds," she said, her voice steady, clear, yet tinged with vulnerability. "I suggest you show respect." Harris scoffed, his laughter cutting through the room. "Right, sweetheart, and I'm the governor," he mocked. Leaning closer, he hissed, "Go fetch some coffee." The crowd fell silent, some cringing, others unmoved, as Maya's dignity seemed to falter. The air grew heavy, the spectators holding their breath, sensing her apparent defeat. Yet, beneath her serene exterior, a fierce determination flickered in Maya's eyes, a silent vow that the story was far from finished. The tension hung thick, almost suffocating. Maya stood motionless, the sting of the slap still fresh, while Harris, brimming with arrogance, traded smirks with his fellow officers, unaware of the subtle shift brewing. Then, the courtroom door creaked softly, shattering the stillness. All eyes turned as Senior Clerk Evelyn Carter hurried toward the bailiff, her face alight with urgency. She whispered something, swift and weighty, sparking a wave of curiosity among the onlookers. Harris's brow furrowed, his moment of triumph disrupted, while Maya remained composed, her gentle gaze steady, betraying nothing, yet hinting at depths unseen. The bailiff stepped forward, clearing his throat, his voice quivering with the gravity of his words. "Officer Harris, step back from Judge Reynolds at once," he commanded. Harris chuckled, dismissive. "Judge? This kid?" The bailiff's face tightened, his tone sharpening. "This is Superior Court Judge Maya Reynolds. You've just assaulted a sitting judge." The declaration rang out, bouncing off the courtroom walls, silencing every whisper. Harris's grin dissolved, replaced by bewilderment, then dread. A profound hush blanketed the room, the spectators frozen, barely breathing. "Judge Reynolds?" Harris mumbled, the reality dawning slowly, his once confident stance wilting. The bailiff pressed on, his voice firm, yet respectful. "Judge Reynolds presides over the Ninth Circuit Superior Court. Her rulings on police misconduct, civil rights, and systemic reform have transformed this city's policing policies, including your precinct." Harris blinked, visibly rattled, as his colleagues exchanged uneasy looks, subtly stepping back, their misjudgment of Maya now glaringly clear. Maya advanced with quiet resolve, her presence radiating unshakable strength. "Officer Harris," she said, her voice soft but resonant, carrying to every corner of the room, "your badge is meant to symbolize honor and service. Today, you've disgraced every officer who upholds it with integrity." Harris tried to respond, but his words failed, his bold gaze now flitting nervously, meeting only condemnation. Evelyn Carter spoke up, her tone deferential yet firm. "Judge Reynolds' rulings are case law across the nation, dismantling systemic injustice. Officer, you didn't just disrespect a judge, you undermined justice itself." The silence deepened, the spectators leaning in, feeling the weight of each moment. Maya stood serene, her gentle strength quietly reaffirming her authority. Harris bowed his head, staring at the polished floor, shrinking under the realization of his irreversible error. His peers distanced themselves, their retreat a silent acknowledgement of his disgrace. Maya waited, devoid of anger or theatrics, her quiet truth more powerful than any outburst. Every person in the room felt her presence unmistakably now. In that instant, Maya's dignity reshaped the courtroom, and Harris sensed his world beginning to unravel. The silence was eloquent, profound. Justice had arrived, soft but unyielding. In the courtroom's heavy silence, each spectator grappled with the revelation of Judge Maya Reynolds' true stature. Soft murmurs of awe, shame, and newfound admiration filled the air as eyes darted between Maya and Officer Harris, now seeing the quiet resilience in the young woman they'd so carelessly overlooked. Then, the faint sound of footsteps broke the stillness, drawing every gaze to the back of the room. Deputy Mayor Elise Thompson approached, her face solemn yet reverent. She paused near Maya, her eyes locking with the judge's in a silent exchange that spoke volumes. "Judge Reynolds," Thompson began, her voice clear and respectful, "our city owes you profound gratitude. Your unwavering commitment to justice, your bravery in confronting systemic corruption, and your quiet yet formidable integrity have steered us toward meaningful reform. Your groundbreaking rulings on police misconduct are benchmarks across the nation." Each word amplified Maya's presence, her once ignored dignity now radiant and undeniable. The room's atmosphere transformed, shedding its earlier skepticism and disdain for a profound reverence. Thompson turned to Officer Harris, who stood diminished, unable to meet her gaze. "Officer Harris," she said firmly, "you didn't merely fail to recognize Judge Reynolds' title. You failed to honor basic human dignity." Harris scrambled to salvage his position, his voice faltering. I didn't know who she was," he pleaded weakly. Thompson's tone remained steady, cutting without cruelty. "Respect doesn't depend on age, gender, or appearance. Judge Reynolds earned her role through exceptional merit. Your failure to see that is your own." A wave of quiet agreement rippled through the courtroom as spectators exchanged chastened glances, absorbing the stark truth Thompson voiced. Harris recoiled, his bravado evaporated, replaced by a raw awareness of the consequences he could not escape. Maya stepped forward with serene authority, addressing Harris directly. "Officer Harris," she said, her voice soft yet piercing, "your actions today mirror the very injustices I've devoted my life to dismantling. I seek not retribution, but accountability." Her unflinching gaze stripped away his defenses, leaving him exposed. The room felt the quiet power of Maya's presence, a beacon of dignified justice. Maya stood at the courtroom's heart, her gentle demeanor radiating a strength far surpassing anger or confrontation. The spectators watched, sensing the pivotal moments ahead would redefine justice in this space. Turning to the bailiff, Maya spoke with calm certainty. "Escort Officer Harris from the courtroom immediately. Notify Internal Affairs to launch a formal investigation into his conduct today and review prior allegations of power abuse and excessive force." Her directives were precise, delivered without malice, yet unyielding. Harris's face paled, his earlier confidence replaced by panic as the weight of real consequences settled in. His eyes scanned the room for allies, but his fellow officers averted their gazes, acknowledging the line he'd crossed. The bailiff approached, his demeanor firm yet courteous, placing a hand on Harris's shoulder. "Officer, come with me," he said. Harris moved mechanically, knowing defiance would only deepen his fall. Maya addressed the room, her voice restoring clarity. "Respect is the cornerstone of justice, not just for titles but for human dignity itself. Officer Harris's actions today betrayed that principle profoundly." She turned to the other officers present. "Your badge symbolizes public trust. Violate that trust, and you erode the very foundation of justice. Let today be a lesson, not a punishment." The courtroom realigned in silent reverence. Staff stood taller, their eyes alight with resolve. Even those who'd mocked earlier now hushed, remorseful for their complicity. A senior officer stepped forward, his voice tentative but sincere. "Judge Reynolds, on behalf of our precinct, I offer our deepest apologies. This isn't who we aspire to be." Maya met his eyes, nodding with grace. "Then ensure this lesson endures," she replied, her words free of ego, brimming with clarity and dignity. The room felt reshaped by her presence, perceptions of justice forever altered. Harris was led away without fanfare, yet the weight of the moment was undeniable. Maya had reclaimed the courtroom not with force or fury, but with the quiet power of truth. Justice was restored, calmly, powerfully, irrevocably. In the tranquil hush that followed Officer Harris's departure, a subtle yet seismic shift settled over the courtroom. The once tense air softened, as justice and clarity quietly reclaimed their dominion. Judge Maya Reynolds stood poised at the bench, her serene authority permeating every corner. Her quiet strength shone not through bold displays but through the sheer grace of her presence. Where mocking laughter had once echoed, hushed conversations now carried humility. Arrogance gave way to respect, earnestly restored. One by one, court officials approached Maya, offering heartfelt apologies in soft tones, their eyes reflecting a deep acknowledgement of her moral fortitude, beyond mere judicial rank. Maya received each with warmth, harboring no resentment, only a steadfast commitment to healing and progress. Moments later, Officer Sarah Mitchell, a young officer who'd watched the events unfold with keen attention, stepped forward tentatively. Her voice quivered with sincerity as she addressed the judge. "Judge Reynolds," she began, her tone reverent, "your actions today taught me something profound. I've seen power abused and arrogance ignored too often, but you've shown what true leadership and grace look like." She paused, collecting her thoughts, then continued with earnest conviction. "This moment has reshaped how I see my role as an officer. Respect isn't a privilege, it's a responsibility." Maya listened intently, her gentle nod affirming Mitchell's honesty. "Thank you, Officer Mitchell," she replied, her voice warm yet resolute. "Change starts exactly here, with quiet reflection, accountability, and a dedication to fairness." The courtroom felt reborn, realigned by a renewed devotion to equity and humanity. Officers who'd once stood indifferent or complicit now held themselves taller, humbled by Maya's unyielding yet gentle strength. Harris's colleagues exchanged quiet, meaningful glances, silently owning their duty to uphold integrity, courage, and humility, qualities Maya embodied with effortless power. No cheers or fanfare marked the moment, only a deep, reflective calm, a shared recognition of justice prevailing softly over hubris. The transformation was palpable, not through retribution, but through the quiet mending and unity that filled the space. Spectators, too, felt the serene restoration of dignity Maya had ushered in, a justice delivered not with noise, but with profound, lasting impact. Long after Judge Maya Reynolds left the courtroom, her poised courage continued to ripple through the city's justice system. That single act of steadfast grace didn't just shift perspectives, it revolutionized the culture of local law enforcement and judicial practices, its influence stretching far beyond initial expectations. In the weeks following Harris's removal, the police department rolled out mandatory training on sensitivity and accountability for all officers. New policies, inspired by Maya's resolute example, set clear expectations for respecting every individual, regardless of age, gender, race, or status. The courtroom incident became a cornerstone case study, a citywide reminder that a badge signifies duty, not exemption. Beyond institutional changes, Maya's impact resonated most deeply in personal transformations. Officer Sarah Mitchell, who'd courageously spoken to Maya, emerged as a passionate advocate for ethical policing in her precinct. Drawing from Maya's calm leadership, she mentored new recruits, instilling humility and dignity as core tenets of their service. The city established the Judge Maya Reynolds Scholarship, annually supporting young women pursuing legal careers in social justice. Maya attended each ceremony, her quiet encouragement and formidable integrity inspiring recipients profoundly. In City Hall, a striking photograph of Maya was displayed prominently outside the courtroom, capturing her standing with humble confidence at her bench, a symbol of quiet justice. It served as a constant reminder to officials, attorneys, and officers that true authority stems from character, integrity, and humanity, not mere titles. Most powerfully, Maya's legacy took root in the hearts and minds of countless onlookers. Young people, moved by her example, pursued careers in law and advocacy, determined to combat injustice with the same quiet resolve and moral clarity. Even Officer Harris, years later, publicly acknowledge his mistakes, engaging in restorative justice programs and working toward redemption. Maya never sought vengeance. Her focus on accountability fostered genuine, transformative change. Judge Maya Reynolds never addressed that transformative day in public again. There was no need. Her influence radiated silently yet powerfully, reshaping city policies, igniting integrity, and leaving an indelible mark on countless lives. When she stepped out of the courtroom, she left behind a world subtly but undeniably improved, a testament to her quiet, enduring power that would never fade. As this story draws to a close, pause to contemplate the profound bravery you've just witnessed. Ask yourself, in Maya's place, would you have reacted with rage, fear, or her serene dignity? If this tale of quiet courage and true justice stirred you, share your reflections in the comments below. Your thoughts carry weight. Like this video, share it with care, and subscribe if stories of unstated valor inspire you. Remember always, respect doesn't need to clamor or demand notice. It persists softly, patiently, profoundly. Let this gentle truth shape your actions and voice moving forward, for in the end, respect need not be loud, it need only be authentic.